We've been like smelling flowers. Like this is making our day better. So there are many special occasions like Valentine's Day that warrant flowers, but just like a lot of items, the price can sometimes have you asking, is it really worth it?
Yeah, it can get expensive. So joining us today to teach us the best ways to save some money, maintain the flowers, and how to put the arrangements together yourself is Medina and Kaitlyn Robles from Lehrer's Flowers. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You guys were here last year.
Yeah, we are honored to have you guys back, and I know you've been a florist for a while. Tell us some of the methods that you've learned to like maintain the flowers. 'Cause at least with my husband, like willing to spend a little money on them, but like you want them to last. That's the key.
Because you can spend quite a bit on flowers.
Yeah.
And they will last as long as they're cared for. So it's just like any type of maintenance, you want something to last. Changing the water, giving the stems a fresh cut, making sure they are not in like super hot temperatures or freezing cold temperatures. So it's just kind of babysitting them. You know, unfortunately they do die, but you can get some longevity from the florals as long as you're maintaining the maintenance. And like I said, the most important thing is keeping the water clean.
Oh,
Yes.
that's right. It's the bacteria that will gather and kill them.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Kaitlyn, you are the wedding and events coordinator.
Yes, I am.
Give us like a little bit of tips and tricks that somebody can arrange something right last minute, hopefully before, well, not last minute before Valentine's Day, but maybe the day before.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a few things is just finding little pieces that will be like your focal flowers, your filler flowers, and just some greenery. If you're building this at home, you definitely could build something great. And it's just adding pieces together, and that's the beauty of it, is the art of it. You just start putting stuff together.
You're doing it flawlessly.
Yeah, I mean,
You make it look really easy. I'm like, girl, it is not that easy.
it really is, though. I mean, it really doesn't take much, but you just gotta, keep turning it around,
Okay.
building, and it's honestly, if it's made from the heart, that's what matters,
That part.
right?
Oh,
Yeah,
that is very
yeah,
sweet.
absolutely.
Well, let me ask you, because our Steve Steger, our consumer investigator, did this like 2-week-long package where he tested a lot of flowers and we learned a lot. That story is on the web if you want to go see it. But what we learned through that process is flowers take a long time to get to the store, right? They
do.
go through a lot. How does that impact what the products that we bring home?
It really doesn't, because we have such a great processing system from the time that it goes from the farm onto a truck, onto a plane. We take it in as long as it's kept at a good temperature, and we cut it. We make sure that it has all the beneficial sources like food and preservatives and stuff like that. They can last a long time as long as they're kept in a cool temperature as well, because we receive flowers like weeks sometimes, you know what I
Wow.
mean? And they are pretty much limbless, but once they are treated well, they come back to life and then they last.
Interesting.
Yes,
Wow. Is
yes.
direct sunlight as bad as they say?
Not so much, just depending on the floral. Like a hydrangea, like right here, that is not good. You know what I mean? It's called hydrangea for a reason
Mine
because
never
it needs
lasts.
hydration.
Okay.
So another trick with hydrangea, if you see them to kind of droop, dunk them head first with the blooms underwater, and they
Cold or
drink.
hot?
Cold, preferably. They drink from the bloom. They get a lot of their hydrangea. They need hydration. So within the
okay.
name. So
I'm
if that ever
connecting the dots.
happens, dunk them in water, and they should come back up to
Okay.
life. Yes.
And Hope, another thing that Steve Steger mentioned in his package was some of the more elaborate, like displays were the ones that died first, at least in the ones that he looked at. So is there anything to that?
Well, the reason why those probably die first because they're showpieces. They're meant for like weddings and stuff like that. And when you have a wedding, the florals are supposed to be at their fullest bloom. They're not meant to go home to last for like 7 days. So when you get pictures and you have an inspiration, they're like, I want my centerpieces to look like this. All the florals are at its fullest bloom. So they're not going to last as long as if you were to get a closed lily. You know what I mean? So that's probably why that happened.
I love that. We're out of time. It's just like number one, very quick tip to keep those flowers that we're all going to receive. Hopefully, I'm
You're all gonna
manifesting this for you. You're going to receive some flowers this weekend. How do we keep them alive?
Just like I said, make sure the water's clean, fresh cuts. I would probably avoid direct sunlight. It's better. Direct heat, and just kind of keep them as cool as possible and enjoy them. Enjoy them and love them. Talk to them.
Oh.
They hear you.
I
They hear
shall.
you. They
Thank
hear
you for the permission.
Yes,
Thank you both.
absolutely.
Thank you, Hope and
Thank you for
Kaitlyn.
having us.
Thank you.